This time I'm heading west into Montana, and St. John has decided to come with me.
Doesn't look real. It looks like a postcard.
Wow.
I have arrived at what I was looking for, and this is the ancient site called the Medicine Wheel. No one knows who built it. It's at least 10,000 years old. No one knows who built it, and no one knows why they built it or what the reason is that they built it. And there is some speculation. If you can see here behind me, there's an outer ring that goes around. And then there's spokes leading to an inner circle. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 spokes right here. Well, if you count the spokes, there's 28 spokes in total. So some people speculate it got something to do with the solstice. Is it a sacred ceremony site for women, 28 days of their cycle? Is it navigation or a calendar? No one knows, because no one even knows what tribe constructed this. And this isn't the only one. These are placed through this area and then up into Canada. There's actually, from my research, there's more going into Canada than there are down here. But so many have been destroyed, unfortunately, for whatever reason, obviously. But I'm happy to say that this site has been labeled National Historical Site, and so it is protected. And you'll see behind me, they have put these posts and rope so that people do not go in there and don't disturb it, don't hopefully vandalize it, whatever. You will see some prayer flags out in the middle. It is still used by 81 tribes for different ceremonies. I don't even know what ceremonies are done up here, but different sacred ceremonies are conducted up here. On the outside, on the ropes, you'll see that there are a lot of tobacco prayer ties. There are eagle feathers tied. There's prayer claws tied. And on every post, there's rocks been placed by people as well, for whatever reason the rocks, people are leaving here for their pilgrimage or their ceremony. So it is still very obviously, very actively used, from the number of prayer ties, tobacco ties that are in the area. So I will just take some footage and zoom up on different things to show you. I'm going to spend a little time in meditation here, see what else there is. Just a little ways off of where the medicine wheel is a trail that leads to this amazing, spectacular rock formation. There's no way you can see how steep it is. I'm standing right on the edge of this drop off. And then it drops to there, and then it even drops further. But it's such... I'm not going to climb over there, Even though it'd be interesting because it looks like it is also used for ceremony. I can't imagine what the drop off would be right there, straight down. Kind of makes my stomach a little bit flippy standing on the edge here because I'm right on this orangey. This is a rock there, and then there's a drop off. And then there's the valley, and then another valley way down below there. That is I've been calling this the medicine wheel, but to the Native Americans, the proper name is the place where the eagle lands. So I'm going to refer to it as that because that is their name for the site, and it was Western society that gave it the name of the medicine wheel. I did learn that it's 80 foot in diameter, and there is dispute as to how old it is. So I'm going to try and find out the age a little bit more closely. I've heard everything from 250 years only to 10,000, which makes it extremely ancient. But I'm going to do a little bit more research and find out which or where most experts, or where the tribes, how old the tribes say it is. I'll talk to a few of my friends, Lakota friends, and see if they know. Anyway, I just wanted to clarify the name. I think it's important to call things by the indigenous name if it's an indigenous site. So, not the medicine wheel, but the place where the eagle lands, which is very appropriate because it's almost at 10,000 feet, and that makes a whole lot more sense. All I can say is, wow, Wyoming for the win. This has been the most amazing 24 hours ever. Went from on the top of mountains, like 10,000 feet. I don't know exactly where we're at now, but it was cold, rainy, 60-something degrees. I was freezing. Now I'm in a short sleeves, and it's warm and beautiful. We're down off the mountain, went through a canyon, and now we're at Shell, Wyoming. A very, very small, very, very quaint, super cute little town, and a great little eating place. You can get some good drinks and a meal, which we haven't eaten today, and it's about noon, so we stopped to eat something. I had no idea that the Bighorn Mountains in Wyoming were so incredibly beautiful. I had an idea, but I didn't know to the extent, nor had I ever stayed in them or gone exploring or anything like that. But the campsite last night in the pine trees and on that lake, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then went up to the sacred site, the place where the eagle lands is the name. And being up there in the wind and the rain and the cold and the majestic viewpoints and watching the sheep herders gather their sheep and doing whatever they're doing, to coming through the canyons and seeing waterfalls and almost places that looked like the Southwest Monument Valley, just this red sand. I mean, the drastic differences in the landscape in the last 4 hours has been incredible and absolutely stunningly beautiful. And like I said, I haven't even scratched the surface. I don't even know what else is out there, but I highly recommend 10 out of 10 Bighorn Mountains in Wyoming. It definitely is a place I want to come back to. Absolutely beautiful morning here in Wyoming. The sun is starting to rise and there's this mist. Sounds like there's bears around, but it's just someone in a tent snoring. I've been hearing him all night. And here's something really interesting, I think. If you look up on the monument there, you can see a light at the base. And it's moving. It's probably a climber that's starting their ascent. And there's the van all set up. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you can hear that guy snoring, but it sounds like a bear. Seriously. Oh my gosh. Good morning again. Finally getting some coffee. So I'm a little bit more awake than I was at 5:30 in the morning when I was filming before. Couple things, more van drama. Did get the van level. Used the little rampy things to make sure that the van was level. And the bubble is not quite in the middle of this thing, but it's half in the middle, which is good enough as far as I'm concerned. And it was really lovely and it was really level. Number two, we've come to the realization that it's a little crowded with two people. So if St. John ever goes with me again, I'm going to figure out how to rig up the second story with a really nice comfortable mattress, and I'm going to throw him up there so that we can both get a good night's sleep, because neither one of us has slept for 3 nights, which is not good for traveling at all. Currently, I'm enjoying my coffee here. He's sitting over there. He doesn't like to be on video. We are at what I refer to as Bear's Lodge. Other people, aka, know it as Devil's Tower. The reason I refer to it as Bear's Lodge is because there are about, that I know of, there's probably more, just sharing what I know, about 6 different tribes that this was a very sacred spot to them. And they all have their different names and their own different language to it. But I believe all of those 6, and like I said, there may be more, and I don't know if this holds true for the others, but all 6 have the word bear in their name, and in their creation legends, somehow a bear is involved in the creation of this stone structure. Well, the guy who came out, he was in the army, he was a general, and I cannot recall his name because I need way more coffee. But the guy that came out in the 1800s, he was supposed to do an expedition of this area in the Black Hills, which he did. Completely illegal, but that's a story for a different day. And he asked the Lakota what their name for this was, and they said Bear's Lodge. Well, the word in Lakota for bear and the word for if you want to translate it into something like an evil spirit or bad spirit, they're so similar. There's just a few letters that are different. And he did an absolute gross mistranslation of what the Lakota were saying. They were saying Bear's Lodge. He was interpreting it as evil spirit lodge or home or something. And so he did name it place where bad spirit lives or something. It was a long name. Eventually, when he published his book about the Black Hills, he shortened it to Devil's Tower. He just randomly named it Devil's Tower based upon a misinterpretation of what he had asked for. And that's what it's been known for ever since, even though it's an absolute misinterpretation. No one, the government or no one else has changed it to what it really should be and what it was and what he's the one that made the mistake. So I refer to it by the English version of what the Lakota called it. I can't pronounce the Lakota word, but the English translation is Bear's Lodge. So that's where I am. That's where we're at. And we're going to go up there after a coffee and hike around a little bit and see if I can see the climbers that I saw at 5:30 this morning with the teeny bit of light that was starting to go up the side of it. And we're going to take a look around and then start heading back to home today. And today we will get home. And St. John is crossing his fingers and hoping for a good night's sleep. We both need it. Before I will be heading to the law school tomorrow morning instead of back to work, just for the day. So I need to be fresh and well rested before I head to the law school so I can answer their questions. Such an absolutely gorgeous morning. Sun is out. It's gonna warm up nicely, but what a beautiful view. Apparently this was done by a Japanese guy. And what I do know is that these 2 base rocks were taken from the construction of the Crazy Horse Memorial in the Black Hills. This was from Rome. Don't know what the significance is. And that supposedly, according to what I read, which I find it hard to believe, supposedly that is some of the same stone that Michelangelo used. Don't know if it's true, but it represents a puff of smoke from the sacred pipe, and it just was placed here. And a Japanese artist did it. I don't know. It was done in 2008, but I don't know how long it's been here. But it's kind of interesting that they put those 3 things together. Not sure why we think we need to improve on nature, but there you go. That's what that is. Okay, I found the two climbers that I saw the light at 5:30 this morning. I'm trying my best to hold it steady, but there they are. And I saw their light at the base at 5:30 in the morning. I'll give you some perspective. Crazy. And they're just hanging on the edge. He's so cute. After a very enjoyable hike around the base of Bear Lodge, stopped at the little restaurant down the road for some more coffee and a little bit of breakfast. We got eggs and some toast. I'm starving. So after I eat this, going to hit the road. Got 2.5 hours to go until I get home. 4 states in 3 days. It has been quite the road trip. Thanks for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my next adventure.